Today, inshallah, we will start a new chapter. And we are on, as the author says here, Faslun fil Mu'tal section about the Mu'tal. So, Mu'tal, let's take a look here. Okay. Mu'tal. Meme is extra letter. Ain is original letter. Ta is extra letter. Mufta'il. Mufta'il, that's the origin there. So then the word Mu'tal itself is from the mudaf. What are the original letters here? Ain, lam, lam. What does mudaf mean? Means if it's thulathi, it means that the ain, the middle original letter, and the lam, the last original letter, are the same. And there's cases for the mu'tal that either those two same letters must be merged together, so that's idgham wajib, or they can't be merged together, that's idghamun mumtani', impossible merger. Or you can do it either way, merge them or not, then it's idghamun jaiz, permissible merger. So mufta'il is the wazn of the word mu'tal. Unless it's a maf'ul, then it would be mufta'al. Well, I don't think it's a maf'ul. Mufta'il, so the origin of mu'tal would be mu'talil, mu'talil. But then you merge the two lambs together. So it becomes mu'tal. And in the wazn, you're still going to say mufta'il. What do these letters mean? Ain, lam, lam. They mean marad, sickness. That's linguistic meaning. So, most literal translation would come out for me as the sick letters or the ill letters. Then, if I were to say it that way, then I wouldn't intend by the word sick anything but like a terminology, not a degraded, not degrading. But we have some other words also, several other words we might use for mu'tal. So marad means sickness, means marad, sickness, or defective. Mu'tal is defective in a literal sense. As opposed to what? What's the opposite of mu'tal? As-sahih. Sahih. Just like in hadith science. Don't you have in the hadith science a hadith sahih, healthy hadith, and you have hadith mu'al, defective hadith, sick hadith? When I say, if I were to use the word marad, sickness, if I were to use it, I would be just using it like a terminology. Someone might say, how's that? I'll say, just like they did it in Arabic. That's what the word means. So when they said it, they were not just praising it. They were using a terminology. Okay. So why these are defective? Someone might say weak. Someone might say unstable. Why is all of that? So let's see. The author says, rahimahullah, المعتل هو ما كان أحد أصوله حرف علة. The Unsound is that which, so sahih is sound, then mu'tal, we can say unsound. But then, yeah, I think we're going to say unsound. No, unsound is ghayru salim. According to our terminologies, you have salim, that's sound. So what does sahih mean? We need another word. Talk about here in Sarf. And you have ghayru salim. So this one we called it unsound. So what does mu'tal mean as far as translation? We should use a different word than unsound, so we don't mix up our terms. Mu'tal is ghayru salim. Mu'tal is ghayru salim, unsound. So if we say defective, the defective verb, it is unsound. Now, I don't want to say irregular also. That's something else. Yani, Arabic has what English doesn't have. So, out of all these cases, they're going to have something that doesn't even exist in English in the first place, so that we can borrow the words. So anyway, he says, al-mu'tallu huwa ma kana ahadu usulihi harfa illah. The mu'tal, it is that which one of its usul, one of its root letters, its fundamental letters, its foundational letters, any one of them. Yani, when it says ahad, one of them means one or more. Or ahad here means at least one of its foundational letters is defective. Wahi, and those defective letters are al-waw wal-ya wal-alif, waw and ya and alif. وَتُسَمَّى حُرُوفَ الْمَدِّ وَاللِّينِ. And these letters are called the extension letters, and they are called soft letters. يعني حروف المد. حروف المد, extension letters. I hope I spelled that right. So that's like when you say qala or bila or yaqulu. That's clear for you. Here's your alif is your extension letter here. Your ya is your extension letter here. And your waw is the extension letter. And also, they are called huruful lin, soft letters. Now, what I know from tajweed is that the soft letters are waw and ya. So, I just pulled out Qala'id al-Ma'ani, one of the explanations of the Matan of Al-Izzi. Yes, so he says, and Alif 2 is harf lin. So I said, this is what I knew from Tajweed. So in Tajweed, well, they're going to call it in Tajweed medlin. This is medlin, soft extension. And this one, Qala, they don't call it medlin though, soft extension. Like khawf and saif, those are soft extension. Qala, qila, yaqulu, those are just extension. Met. Okay, so حروف المد, the extension letters are alif, ya, and waw. And the soft letters are also alif, ya, and waw. But you don't have a medline with an alif, though. A soft extension with an alif. There's no soft extension with an alif. Now, so I think you understand. Now you can ask if you have any question. When he says here, mu'tal is when any of the foundational letters is defective. So then, if you take the example of a verb like qatala, qatala, there's an alif there. Is this mu'tal? It's not mu'tal because this alif is not harfun asli. This is harf zaid, extra letter. So al-mu'tal is when one of the foundational letters is defective. And the defective letters, one of the foundational letters is a defective letter. And the defective letter is a waw or a ya or an alif. وَتُسَمَّى حُرُوفَ الْمَدِّ وَاللِّينِ. And these letters are called the extension letters, and they are called soft letters. وَالْأَلِفُ حِينَئِذٍ تَكُونُ مُنْقَلِبَةً عَنْ وَاوٍ أَوْ يَا. Important rule here. And it's easy. There's no confusion here. But this is very important rule to understand all of what's going to come. So it needs to be right up here in this paragraph, first paragraph. So now we talk about harf. We talk about al-mu'tal. So we're going to see examples of mu'tal. Like, you know, some examples like qala, like ba'a. So he says the alif in this case is flipped from a waw or a ya, munqaliba, flipped from a waw or a ya, meaning whenever you find the alif in the place of a foundational letter, whenever you find an alif in, yani, as the fa or the ayn or the lam, if you found an alif as the fa of the word or its ayn or its lam, see, I think that's very clear for you what that means. If you found for a word it's fa or its ayn or its lam is an alif, we're talking here extension letter alif. And since we're talking about extension letter, then for sure it's not going to be in the front of the word anyway. So if you found in the middle, if you found that the ayn of the word or the lam of the word is an alif, then really the ayn or that ayn or lam of the word is a waw or a ya. Extension, what did I do? Spelled it with an extra T, yeah? Yeah. So, if you found that the ayn of the word or the lam of the word is an alif, an extended alif, like qala or like rama or like dana or da'a, then that alif is never actually the original letter. It's going to be a waw or a ya that was the original letter. Yes, raise your hand.
No, can you know about it from its muster? Where?
Yeah, from the mastar and from other ways. You're going to know if it were a waw or a ya by looking into its various stages of sarf, its various stages of transformation from one form to another. Like looking into the mudari'. That's how we knew about qala yaqulu. In the mudari', the waw appeared. It's also in the masdar, qala yaqulu qawlan. So in this case, we knew it from the mudari' and from the masdar. And you can know about it in other ways too. Yani, right now, if we say the mudari' and or the masdar, then that's clear. But even other ways, especially if you took more sarf. Higher level of sarf, then they're going to mention for you the tasghir, miniaturization form. That's a way you can know the original letter. And the jam'u taksir, the broken plural. That's a way you can know also what's the origin of that alif, a waw, or ya. Okay, so he says, وَأَنْوَاعُهُ سَبْعَةٌ. It has seven kinds. الأول والمعتل الفاء. The first one is the defective first letter. ويقال له المثال. It's called the similar, or the like, or resembling verb or case. Mithaal. So I don't know if that has a very strong translation here. There's not even something in English to compare it to, so that we can borrow it from the English. Why it's called Mithaal? لمماثلته الصحيح باحتمال الحركات. It's called Mithaal because it has mumathala, yani comparable. The comparable one, you call له المثال, it's called comparable. Comparable to what? لمماثلته الصحيح. Comparable to a healthy verb. It's comparable to a healthy verb. Has sick letter. The first letter is a sick letter, but it's as if this is a case of a healthy verb without a sick letter. Why? لمماثلته الصحيحة في احتمال الحركات. Because when the first letter is waw or ya, it's going to be able to take vowels. Meaning, you say, for example, if we take some sahih letters, what are the sahih letters? The sahih letters are all letters except alif, waw, and ya, including hamza. And according to that, then it's possible to say hamza is not alif, because alif is not a sahih letter; it's a sick letter. Alif is not a healthy letter; it's a sick letter. Hamza is not a sick letter; it's a healthy letter. So then, like that, you're going to be able to say they're not the same. So like what? Like daraba. Like daraba. So this first letter right there, it can take a haraka. It did take a haraka. Likewise, you say wasala. That waw took a haraka. And you say yabisa. That ya took a haraka. So, as they say, for all intents and purposes, this appears to be sound. At that stage right there, there's nothing divergent. Nothing peculiar here. As they say, nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Okay. So I think that's clear. If you have a question, feel free. So this type is called Mithaal. لمماثلته الصحيح في احتمال الحركات. It's called comparable because it's comparable to a healthy verb in that first letter being able to bear vowels. أما الواو فتحذف من الفعل المضارع الذي على يفعل بكسر العين. Now, as for the waw, Yani, as for case where the first root letter is a waw, then there's special rule. So, yeah, you need to understand what's the point of all of these coming chapters. It said there's 7 types. What's the point of all of this coming talk here? It's the same point that actually we just covered in the mudaf, the doubled one, which is what? Now we want to see all the cases of not going according to the standard rule. Because of something that exists in these verbs, we are going to diverge from standard rules. When I say standard rules, I mean, how would you treat a verb if all of its letters were healthy? If all of its original letters were healthy, then you're just going to have standard procedure concerning those. You're going to say, ضرب, يضرب, ضربا, فهو ضارب, وذاك مضروب, والأمر اضرب. That's regular. Are you going to get the same outcome like this? The same consistency? You're going to get the same consistent pattern like this? Yani, I can put also now I can keep going. Just like this for anything that's sound. So we can say سمع يسمع سمعا فهو سامع وذاك مسموع والأمر اسمع. And anything else I want to put there? And just keep the same consistency. Is that consistency going to be true with harf illa? No. So we are going to diverge from this standard here. All of the coming talk now, that's its point. And why are the scholars doing this? Is it because they made it up? They decided to break some rules here and there from their own minds? No. Rather, like they are like a folk who encountered a building already built, a pre-existing structure, and they had no hand in building the structure. They only had the expertise of mapping out its blueprints. They studied the structure, and then they drew up its blueprint and described how it is. So that's what the scholars are doing here. Now they're going to explain to us what happened in the Arabic language when we found some divergence in some cases. He says here, Amma al-waw. Now, as for wow, and the word amma is harfu tafsil. Harfu tafsil. It's a particle for detail. You see, amma, as for, means you want to go into detail. أما الواو, as for the واو فتحذف من الفعل المضارع الذي على يفعل بكسر العين. The واو will be omitted from the مضارع. The واو will be omitted from the مضارع if that's a مضارع under the pattern of يفعل with the كسرة بكسر العين. With the kasra on the ayn, you know what that means. وَمِن مَصْدَرِهِ الَّذِي عَلَى فِعْلَهِ. And also the wow is going to be omitted from a source noun that has the pattern of fi'lah. بكسر الفاء. وَتَسْلَمُ فِي سَائِرِ تَصَارِيفِهِ. And the wow will stay stable though in any other stage of conjugation. Taqul, and therefore you say وعد يعيد عدة ووعدا فهو واعد وذاك موعود والأمر عد والنهي لا تعد. So let's see here. We see our standard here. Let's say you said wa'ada. So you say wa'ada, like you say daraba. Therefore, this case is called Mithaal because it's comparable to a sound or a healthy verb. Now this is yadribu. What would the mudari' of wa'ada be if we go by standard rules? It would be yaw'idu, wa'ada yaw'idu, but you don't say yaw'idu because this wow, which is the original letter, the first original letter in the word, it is coming between, this wow is coming between a ya and a kasra. This wow is coming between a ya and a kasra. What's the most appropriate vowel for a ya? A kasra. What's the most appropriate letter for a kasra? A ya. And this wow, this soft letter here, is blocking those two from getting together. And so the old Arabs then diverged from the norm here, from the standard. And they said instead of yaw'idu, they said ya'idu. Ya'idu. Meaning the wow is omitted. You say ya'idu fi'lun mudari'un marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi dhamma. Why, when you do the i'rab, you don't talk about the wow that's missing? Say ya'idu fi'lun mudari'un. You don't say mahdhuful wow. Just say fi'lun mudari'un marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi kadha. Why they didn't do that here? Because this is a case of sarf, not nahu. So you don't have to talk about that particular detail while you're parsing the sentence. Wa'ada, ya'idu. And what's the masdar? Darban, wa'adan. That's standard right there. Wa'adan, that's standard. Wa'adallah. But there's another one, which is Eidah. Eidatan. That means same thing as what? So you say Wa'ada. Ya'idu. The origin of ya'idu is yaw'idu. Then the masdar, this word has two masdars. One is wa'ad, two source nouns, wa'dan. And there's another source noun, which is, it would be wa'datan. Wa'datan, which is the pattern of fi'la. Wa'da is the pattern of fi'la, but you're not going to leave it like that. Wa'da, that soft letter right there, that wow with a kasra on it, what did they do? They transported the kasra to the next letter. They relocated it. That leaves the wow with a sukoon, and then what did they do? They omitted the wow altogether. So they wound up saying, there's a kasra here. They wound up saying, Eidah. Eidah means wa'ad, promise. فَهُوَ وَاعِد, and therefore the promiser is called in Arabic a wa'id, promiser. وَذَاكَ مَوْعُود, and the promise thing is maw'ud. And the command would be id. Id. Okay. Is there any question here?
You understand?
Yes.
And this is for the case for in terms of the verb. It's the case of ma'lum. When we're talking about the verb, is there a case for or what is the case for the majhul?
For the majhul, it's not going to be the same necessarily. It's gonna need for all of the conditions to come together in order for it to happen. So without me thinking, how's maf'ul, the mabni lil maf'ul right now? How is it configured for the receiver? In the first place, understand that we said ya'idu in the first place because the wow came between a ya and a kasra. So if it's mabni lil maf'ul, there's going to be a fatha on the ayn here. Yu'ad. Yu'adun. So it's not going to go. It's going to stay. The wow's going to stay. Wa'ida. Wa'ida al-muttaqun. I think that's clear for you.
Barakallahu fiqh.
I mean, so this was like introduction to this case. I think we should stop here, but I want to show you something. Pay attention to this pattern here. Ida. Because you know some words that have this pattern, such as wasafa, yasifu, which the wow, it's omitted. It would be yausifu. But that soft letter came between a ya and a kasra, so it got bumped out. Wasafa yasifu wasfan. And what else? How else we can say the masdar? Tell me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is it Slifa or Slifa or
Sifa.
no?
Sifa. That's it. That's just like Ada. Sifa. So it's valid to say, what did Tahawi say? He said, وَمَنْ وَصَفَ اللَّهَ. Not that one. Wasaf, that's the verb. So anyway, wasf is the original way. Sifa is divergent forms of wasf. So they both mean attribute. It's valid to say wasfullah, the attribute of God. And it's valid to say sifatullah, the attribute of God. The plural of wasf is awsaf. And the plural of sifa is sifat. Also, there's another word you know, perhaps this word. Jiha. So tell me, what word jiha came from? This is what you call reverse engineering, going backwards. What word did jiha come from? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The word jiha comes from the word wajh. Wajh, jiha. So what does jiha mean? Jiha means wajh. Usually, though, we say jiha means direction. We say wajh means face, and jiha means direction. But really, it means the same thing. The wajh is the jiha. The jiha is the wajh. Like the wasf is the sifa. The sifa is the wasf. And the wa'd is the idah. The idah is the wa'ad, and there's other word, many. So, for example, zina. It's not zina. That's not zina. Zina. So zina comes from what? Wazn. Any question here?